Happy evening to everyone gathered here. Today, the Computer Society of India's Coimbatore chapter has organized a webinar on revolutionizing learning, unleashing the power of education 5.0, which is one of the uh, important topic that is needed as of now. And in order to enlighten the participants, we have a renowned expert in this field, uh, Dr. Lada Parameswaran, who is the professor and director of PSGR Krishnamal College for Women. And I request all the participants to actively participate and interact with the uh, guest speaker so that we all will get a lot of knowledge through the session. And now, may I invite our chairman, Mr. R. Saravanakumar, who is a renowned social entrepreneur, visiting professor at PSG College of Technology, and former director, Cognizant Technology Solutions, to welcome the gathering. Sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the introduction. Iniya Malai Vanakkam. Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you on behalf of the Computer Society of India Coimbatore chapter. It is my privilege and honor as the chairman of this esteemed chapter to address this vibrant gathering as we come together for an exciting and transformative webinar titled Revolutionizing Learning, Unleashing the Power of Education 5.0. As we step into an era where artificial intelligence, IoT, and cutting-edge technologies are reshaping the education landscape, it is very much important and crucial for educators, students, and professionals to adapt and embrace these advancements. Education 5.0 is not just about digital transformation, it is about creating a future where learning is personalized, interactive, and inclusive as well, ensuring that technology empowers both educators and learners alike. Today's session is actually designed to provide deep insights into AI-driven learning, innovative teaching methodologies, and the essential skills needed to thrive in this digital world. Whether you are an educator looking for a new teaching strategies, or a student who is eager to explore future ready skills, or a tech enthusiast passionate about education's evolution, this webinar has something valuable for you. We are indeed honored to have with us Dr. Lata Parameswaran, a distinguished academician and researcher whose expertise spans image processing, information security, theoretical computer science, and much more. With a remarkable career in both industry and academia, she has significantly contributed to education and research, guiding numerous scholars and driving innovation in learning. We are privileged to have her share her insights with us today. I would like to extend my gratitude to all the participants for joining us this evening. Let's make this webinar a collaborative and enriching experience for everyone. Get ready for an engaging session, and I look forward to exploring the world of Education 5.0 with all of you. Over to our MOC to proceed further. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now it's time to know about the guest speaker. In order to introduce the guest speaker, may I request Dr. Radha Damodaram, MC member, Coimbatore chapter of CSI, and she is the Chief Executive Director, iBuds Montessori Play School, Director, Sky Connected Private Limited, and Director, Whitehead Junior. Ma'am?
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. It is with great honor and immense pleasure that we welcome Dr. Lata Parameswaran as our esteemed chief guest today. Dr. Lata Parameswaran is a distinguished academician and researcher with a bachelor degree in mathematics from PSGR Krishnamal College for Women, a master's degree in computer applications from PSG College of Technology, and a PhD in computer science from Bardea University. With over a decade of experience in the software industry, She transitioned into academia and is currently serving as a professor and director computational sciences at PSGR Customer College for Women, Coimbatore. Her remarkable contributions in the fields of image processing, information retrieval, image mining, information security, and theoretical computer science have greatly enriched the academic and research community. She has also played a pivotal role in mentoring the scholars, serving on doctoral committees across various universities, and publishing extremely on over 50 topics in international journals. On behalf of everyone present here, we extend a heartfelt welcome to Dr. Lata Parameshwaran. We are truly privileged to have her with us today, and we eagerly look forward for her inspiring words and invaluable insights. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Now it's time to hear from our guest speaker. Ma'am?
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you, Mr.
We welcome you,
Maharajan.
ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Maharajan, for the wonderful evening and your
Thank
start.
you.
And my dear friend and a well-wisher, Mr. Saravana Kumar, Dr. Venkateshan, who's a close friend of mine for more than decades, and then Dr. Radha and others who have joined. So especially the young students who have joined and the faculty members and from other colleges. So first of all, I extend my thanks to everyone from CSI for coordinating this particular webinar. So I'll just share my presentation.
Yes, ma'am. I'm
Uh,
stopping my
yeah,
presentation.
yeah. So that I will.
Yes, ma'am.
So is it or is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. Hope it's you're able to see the screen. Yeah, Dr. Maharajan.
Yes, ma'am. The screen is
Yeah.
visible, ma'am.
Yeah, fine. Thank you so much. So thank you everybody once again. So just wanted to start with two disclaimers. The first, the topic says revolutionizing. So that means it's not that I have found something and I'm going to share. It's more of learning together and working together whenever we need to do a revolutionizing. I'm sure some of the participants or many of the participants may have very newer ideas, very newer thinking in this particular path of education 5.0 and so on, because which is completely new to all of us. Which is so I think I understand that we have 3 to 4 generation of people. So I don't say generation is different. So I call generation changes once in every 3 to 4 years. So I understand. I know that there are a large number of people who are from different generations, and we have met here to understand and maybe exchange ideas on how do we unleash this power of education 5.0. So without taking much of time, so I'll proceed with my presentation. So today, welcome to all. The program is the webinar, and thank you CSI Coimbatore, and special thanks to the team. Yeah. So the topic, the journey will be something where we start what is education all about in this 5.0, learning all about in this 5.0, innovation, which people talk left, right, and center now, innovation 5.0, technology 5.0, and what is enhanced technology 5.0. So this will be the next 20 to 30 minutes, what I'm just going to cover. And as I said, this is mainly not only my individual opinion, it's some of the research that I have done on these particular topics and so on. So let's start this journey together so that the next generation is completely benefited. So before I start, I just wanted to have some 1 or 2 stories so that the young audience who are there will be inspired and to know that. And it is completely connected to what we are going to do today. The first story most of you would have heard of. That is, a man standing on a river bank, okay, was doing fishing. So there were so many who were passing the way, a young man. So they asked him, why are you doing fishing? The boy told, no, I just want to relax myself and then I'm doing the fishing. So he said, hey, young man, you're too young. Why are you wasting your time in fishing? So the other person, he asked, why? Why? What should I do now? So one person said, you go and study in the college. The next person said, you better go to job and start earning. Then he asked, what should I do next? The next person said, you get married. The next person said, you have to have children. And the next one said, you have to make a lot of money. The next person said, and then you enjoy. He said, no, I'm just doing it. I'm enjoying. Okay. So that's what I'm doing it now. So do you think that I'm not doing all this and just doing and enjoying? So that means my sincere say suggestion would be to ignore advices from trespassers, because they are not going to be handhold you in your journey of this learning, whatever be the learning that you're going to do, whether it is education 5.0, industry 5.0, I just call it as learning 5.0. And the second is another interesting story. So Akbar Birbal stories. See, some of us do not know whether they are real stories or they are all stories made up. However it is much interesting to all of us. So one day, Akbar told his ministers to count the number of blinds in the city. So he told, just take account of number of blinds in the city because I want to give them something on my birthday. So then one minister came and told there are 100, the other one told 1,000 and so on. Then as usual, Birbal came to the, say the minister and to the king and said, no, this is wrong. Akbar was much angry. See, I have sent people all around the country and they are making the count and telling and then reporting to me. And you're here to tell me that this number is wrong. He told, no, just give me 1 day, that is sufficient. So what he does is, Birbal takes a cot and puts it in center of the city hall and just while lying down, having some snacks, fruits, juice and so on. And he had 2 men standing right in front of his cot with a paper. So people started coming near him and they asked him, hey man, what are you doing? What is this, Birbal? What are you doing? Birbal told his assistant, write his name. The next person came and he asked, what is it? What are you doing here, Birbal, with 2 people around you? He told, write his name. So this was happening and the list went on to pages. In the evening, everybody went and told Akbar that, see, Birbal is just lying down on a cot in front of the city town hall and then just writing the names of people. Then king came and asked him, hey Birbal, what are you doing here? He told, I am closing the day, write our king's name at the end. That means what typically happens is he tells the king, see, these are the people who are blind in the city today. So that means they know what I was doing. I was simply lying down on a cot, eating something or drinking something and so on. So they could have asked me, Birbal, what are you eating? They could have asked me, what are you drinking? But they just told me, what are you doing? So that means they are all blind. That means you should frame policies based on the people needs. Don't frame policies that you want to give the people who are blind. That means this goes hand in hand with the topic that we say we need to be aware of what we are going to do, what we are going to deliver to the next people around us. So without taking time, so the terminologies that are very important today is education. So normally education means what? It is just a process of imparting or acquiring knowledge or skill. As for a profession, say education. So if you are a commerce student, you have to learn about commerce. If you are a computer science student, you have to learn about programming. You have to learn, if you are an MBA, you have to learn about marketing or HR or finance. Whereas learning is slightly different. That is the act or process of acquiring knowledge or skill. So what is the difference between the first and the second is, in the first part, mostly we talk about imparting, and the second part, we talk about acquiring it. That means In the second part is what is actually happening. So I can stand here or sit here and lecture with you for hours together on education 4.0. There's no harm because I have so many pages. I have the entire computer with me. I can fill it with slides. But what happens if it doesn't reach you? So that is what is important to know about what is learning. And the third is innovation. That is introduction of new things or methods. A super example that I learned from one of the lectures that I attended. So a man went to an carpenter, okay, or a person who makes chairs, sofas, and so on. He told, "I want a chair, okay, but it is not the normal chair." Then the carpenter asks, "What type of chair you want?" "A chair without any legs." Okay, understood, got it. A chair without a back seat. Okay, got it. So a chair which will adjust to every position that I sit on it. He was wondering what to do and so on. But the carpenter was smart enough. He just told, "Don't worry, sir. I'll deliver such a chair the next week to you." Okay. So this man was wondering, what is this carpenter telling that he can make a chair without legs, without say arms, without any seating back seat. Okay, let me see what he does. The innovation was this was the invention of the bean bag, which all of us or most of us are enjoying at our homes. So that is where innovation starts. So this is something not always related to education and learning. It talks about how you think. So innovation comes not just with education and learning, but if you add education and learning, innovation becomes much more actually the purest form of learning, because he can make a bean bag, but what is the amount of bean that you have to put? There is something that you need. You have to talk about the volume. You have to talk about the size. So not that he did not have an education, but if he had had a proper education, the first bean bag was too, say, clumsy, and then it was too heavy and so on. Later, there were a lot of changes that were there. The next is we talk about technology. That is, anything that we learn or everything that we learn should have an application. That's what I always insist. So anything that you learn, even today when you learn something, can you find an application for it tomorrow? That's what is important. So technology plays a vital role in applying whatever be the knowledge that we have. The next we talk about enhanced technology or intensified technology. Say till say 2000 or even 2010, 15, we can say people only talk about technology. But nowadays, though, people don't talk about just technology. We need intensified technology. So these are the terminologies that I'm going to cover for the next 20 to 30 minutes. So today's scenario of education. So normally they say for a fair selection, everybody has to climb the tree. That means complete the exam, same exam. So how do you judge the ability of a fish? Is it by climbing the tree? Or can you expect an elephant to climb the tree? That's what Einstein told, that the whole life will be wasted if with the stupid system of this education long back. But now I think there is a very big change in this education that is there, but not everybody is able to afford to that changing scenario. Okay, and this is also a paradigm shift. Suppose we take 1960s. Okay, I don't mean 60s alone. Even we can say up to 60 to 2010. Whenever, say, even when I was a student, if I don't get good grades, my parents will ask my teachers, "See, my daughter is not able to get a good grade. What is the reason? What should she concentrate? Whether she should take additional classes or additional time, and so on." But the present scenario is that when the grades are bad, the teachers are questioned. Okay, so the parents go and question the teachers. "My child is not getting this grade. What is the reason?" And they start comparing and verbatim comparison between two answer scripts, two evaluation, two children, which is a disaster to this learning curve. Don't compare anybody with one with other. Everybody has their own USP, what we call as unique selling point. So then today's question to the kids is that, Once I know how to Google, is that all the education that I need to know? So I can answer any quiz, I can answer anything that's there. This is another danger that is coming up. Okay? So today's education is much more challenging to the children because they have hundreds and thousands of say diversions that are there. So the teacher talks something, there's a continuous this one, and the children are onto Amazon, they look at iPhones, they look at computers, and they feel sleepy throughout the day. There is so much of, say, things that are moving around for them. So even sometimes the parents and teachers, some of them say, take a pill, stay awake, and learn till 2 a.m., 3 a.m., which is also not a part of this education 5.0. This is not part of education 5.0 at all. So now education, another challenge is it has become a commodity. So only the affordable gets the best education. The one who are downtrodden still gets an mediocre education, or the ones that do not reach the top, say, grades or the top competition and so on. That also has to go on with education 5.0. So next is, what is the role of technology in education? Now we talk about technology. Now it is only technology, and we know pandemic has taught us very badly or very goodly, whatever we say, that without technology nobody can survive. So the role of technology is access to information. When we talk about accessibility, that's a very big challenge that we have. Education for everyone. Is it possible for everybody to get into this e-learning or even the Zoom meeting? Okay, that the Google Meet that we have or the Zoom calls that we have, is it accessible to everybody? Will everybody get the bandwidth that is required? Will everybody get the connectivity? Will everybody have smart devices to do that? So that is one thing. Second is personalized learning, which has not happened at all for a long time till we have done. This happened actually, this personalized learning was the objective of learning when we were in our earlier or medieval period, when we had Gurukulam that was there, or Gurukulam, which was the mode of learning for all of us, or my great grandparents, your great grandparents, and so on. So, because there the gurus will understand what is the skill of each student. So, we have learned about story of Ekalavya. We have learned about stories of other, say, Bhima and so on. Not that everybody had the same skill. So, there was a personalized learning. So, each one was given a different type of skilling or the training that was required based on their interest, based on their skills, and so on. But after that, all this vanished for a very long time. Now it is returning back. I can always say it is only a cycle that comes back. So we are now returning to such a mode of personalized learning. Then collaboration and communication. It is no longer your mom or dad or your friend can say, I'll shut the door, I'll keep studying, I have to get more grades than you, and so on. That can never happen. It's peer learning, collaboration, and communication which makes you learn better. Interactive learning. That means when I learn something, say normally when I was a student, or most of us were students earlier, you have to go home and then read whatever has happened in the class, and then come back to the next morning, ask our teachers, saying, Madam or Sir, you taught this yesterday. I'm not able to understand this. How did this happen? And so on. But now it is not so. There is plenty of actually learning happening through interactive. That means you have so much of facilities to do an interactive learning. Remote learning, the same thing as I told. Example, you can learn from anywhere. Okay. So earlier days, as I told, Gurukulam, it was a remote learning. Student was somewhere, Eklavya was somewhere. Okay, but that's a different type of devotion or whatever be that. But the remote learning happened those days. We are reviving it back. And data-driven insights. So now everybody has to understand what is the data that we do, and then how do we understand. And here starts the lifelong learning. You can never say, I will stop learning today or I will stop learning tomorrow. So I recall one of my professors' advice to me, or advice to most of us when we joined the first day of our master's program in computer applications. He said that clearly, that you have caught the tail of a tiger. That means what? That means technology. If the tiger, if you are able to learn to tame the tiger, that means if there is a lifelong learning, you will keep abreast. You will be always on top. But if the tiger eats you, you'll be lost in the crowd. That means if you do not have a lifelong learning quest or the thirst that is there, then you have to sit back, close your doors, and keep doing something else. And then you'll become obsolete in everything that happens. So, the evolution, as I told, we started with before 1990. I'm not talking about very old stories or so. Teachers would teach the way that they had learned with little regard to students. I do remember, not that they had little regard or they did not bother much about what we learned. They'll just keep telling, learn this, by heart this, multiplication table is this, English is like this, maths is like this, science is like this, and so on. And from 1990 to 2005, say the agile technology, which we talk about, I think they are agile teacher model. That is, teachers are no longer just teachers, they are coaches. And mentors would adapt how they want to teach, meeting the varying student needs that are there. Post to 2005, so there was a very big change that happened. That is introduction of MOOC, that is online courses provided by Khan Academy and so on. So the learners and the teachers had a very different pedagogy that they can follow for their teaching learning process. Of course, we cannot forget our COVID, post-COVID, the fourth wave, we can say, of education, to empower the learner, not just through the style, but also through access. This is a hard lesson that we learned through COVID, and we are still surviving with that. So next is going to be learning with, we call it as computer-aided learning. Now it is with virtual reality and whatnot. So we are now onto a very, what to say, in a space which is much fragile. So one more thing that normally, what I heard from their peers and so on is, now we are in the next wave, 2025 onwards, we are in something in a wave called as, people say, today's technology, that is last year's technology will be next year's joke. So whatever be the technology that was there last year, 2 years back, 3 years back, or 10 years back will become a joke in the next year. People talked about browsing, Google, and so on. Before even we started digesting, something more came. So every technology has a very short living and newer technologies come. Should we keep chasing it? That's the biggest question. I have some insights into it in the coming slides. So this is just what I was telling. So most importantly, in the 1830s, okay, so Lord Thomas Babington Macaulay brought English language to India, and the syllabus limited to modern and specific subjects like science, mathematics, and so on. So our entire learning changed. Okay, people said that at school level, learning metaphysics or philosophy is not required, and the mode of teaching was confined to classroom. Okay, so we had the beautiful, say, Nalanda University and so on, where students were taught in nature. But then it was confined to a classroom, and a strange relationship started between the teacher and the student to make it become stronger. It became stronger, but there were many gaps that are there. But during the second half of the 19th century, Ramakrishna Mission tried to combine the Western pattern with this congenial ancient this one to inspire the young minds, and many institutions are still following it. So the challenges in the Indian education system, because we are in India, we need to understand our challenge before we talk about pushing technology, pushing and so on, pushing education 5.0, diversity in terms of languages, culture, and acceptability of all religions. Expenditure on education, that's creeping up like anything. Cross enrollment pattern, that's a very big challenge. Capacity utilization, that's not actually happening to what we expect. Infrastructure facilities, do all the schools have the same infrastructure? No. So when we are all born in the same country, the same place, with everything that is there, why are we not getting the same type of education that we need? Because infrastructure varies. Student-teacher ratio, that's another challenging that we have. accreditation and branding. So that's another challenge that we have. Quality standards. So is this school good? Is that college good? Is this branded? Is it sufficient? So quality of education, there is a big disparity in that itself. Students studying abroad. So there is a large number of students traveling out of country for their higher education. What do they bring back, or what do they do, or what are we going to do in terms of bringing them back into our society? So the purpose of education. There are three important, stakeholders in this. One is the parents, second is educators, and third is the society. In 1.0, or I can say the earlier version of education, we talked about care. Parents had care. The educators imposed education. Nothing wrong. We can say few of us grew up in that particular model, and we are still successful. And society was driven by religion. So all this put together was education 1.0, I can say. In the second, revolution that was there, parents had the capability to decide. Say, I want my son or daughter to do this engineering, law, medicine, and so on. Okay, so let her become a literature specialist. Let her take up in science, life sciences, and so on. Educators were using a lot of imprints that are available to, and then the communication was mostly through the imprints that are there. And the society was driven by the government. The government will impose that this is the regulation that has to be followed, and so on. And then move to 3.0. Parents have become more competitive. The next door child or the next street child goes to this particular law school, or to this engineering college, or to this this particular college. So let my son or daughter also go into it. But educators, we have become more of an inspirers than just what to learn from the book. So as educators, I know my colleagues, my friends, all of us here would accept that we do a learning daily to inspire children and the next generation with something that makes them more, stronger and capable of what they have. What are the challenges that are ahead? And society is aiming for an advantage. If my son or daughter does this, what will be the advantage? What is the terms of ROI, return on investment, if I put my son in this particular school or a college, and so on? So this is the reality. So now the goals of education 5.0. So if you look at, there are two things that are there. The left one talks about develop a 21st century skills, such as critical thinking, creativity, and problem solving. These are the three important things that everybody should know. I just differ from certain points that the other ones told. We don't have to chase artificial intelligence. We don't have to chase IoT, because as I told a few minutes back, we are not sure whether IoT will live for another 5 years or artificial intelligence will live for another 5 years. But these basic skills such as critical thinking, creativity, and problem solving skills are the ones that are going to help us to lay the foundation for the next 30-40 years for our next generation to improve social and emotional development. So this is another challenge that we have. The education should be in such a way that there is a social development and a better emotional bonding and a development which we convey to the society to create solutions that improve life in society. So no longer I need to be only a doctor, or I need to be only an engineer and do it. I have to contribute to the society. How will my education improve the lifestyle of people around me? How will their living standards improve by my education, by my learning? That is what we need. That is the goal. And to promote personalized learning, collaboration, and well-being. So the last one word, maybe the last, but that is what is the crux of education 5.0, I should say. What is education 5.0? 5.0, I should be able to say it is for the well-being of people. That's all. No other words are required, because the well-being includes everything that is there. I should be able to learn in a personalized manner. I like geography. Okay, I like geography in this particular context. I like history. Fine. I like history in this particular context. So more and more of personalized learning, collaboration, working with others is what is the goal of Education 5.0. So that is anytime, any language, any means, any age, any topic, any culture, anywhere and anyhow. Somehow we have to make this 5.0 into a reality, but not too far. I'm very sure that we'll be able to see that already a few things have started, but we will be seeing it soon on the on our screens. Okay, so the vision is to respond to the needs of Industry 5.0. Sorry, this is the fifth industrial revolution where man and machine align to enable new possibilities. So that is no longer that is some machine that is there, you get a training and then work on that machine. The day you go, you should be able to understand, work with the machine and find out what is the new possibility, what is the learning that you have. So it's more of man-machine interaction in the industry. To harness the potential of digital technologies, personalized data, open source content. So this is the vision. So the data is already plenty available. We should know what you should use and when you should use. And to establish a blueprint for the future of learning, lifelong learning, that is from childhood schooling to continuous learning in workplace to learning to play a better role in the society. As I told, well-being of the society. So the visions, the versions, it's a push to pull model. If you see how our education has actually evolved, it's from a push model to a pull model. In Education 1.0, the teachers will say, I will deliver the content at my place and in my way. You learn if you can. So you have to go to the school, sit there, listen to what they say and so on. In 2.0, I will adjust how and what I teach so that it gives you the best chances for success. The next one is 3.0, provide resources and content, learn what you need. This is where this 3.0 is something like our distance education programs. They provide you the resources, content. Actually, it's a very good model, but somehow it has not actually clicked the way it should have been projected in our Indian system or the entire community. People started degrading people who studied through the distance learning. No, it is the first, we can say, e-learning model. So we provide the resources and content, learn what you need in a way that works for you whenever and wherever you are. And then 4.0, this is presently what is happening. 5.0, we are in between 4.0 and 5.0. Equip learners with skills, attitudes, and essential values essential for the future. And 5.0 is use newer technologies to provide more humanized learning. Because from machine to humanized teaching learning. So we want a personal touch, but at the same time, we want to grow technology. So with a focus on student social and emotional development and solutions that improve life in society. So this is how from a push model to a pull model. Now I can sit in my home. I have to pull the content that I need. It is everywhere, content everywhere. So just like water around the ocean, we have to draw and find out what is typically useful to me and interesting to me. So what is in the Education 5.0? As I told, it is confluence of three crucial educational elements. One is the neuroscience, second is the cognitive psychology, and the education technology. See, these three are the important elements that we have to concentrate. How to build these elements into our curriculum. The three C's, that is the connectors, creators, and constructivists. So there, I also play a role and each one of you play a role. The confluence of creativity, critical thinking, competency, all C's together. Competency, care, cognition, content, classes, calculation, all these put together on much more on the top of mind of academia. So how do we bring all this? The last is the biggest challenge in the academia now. So some of them talk about creativity. Some of them talk about critical thinking. Some of them say you're not competent enough. Your competency has to go. Some of them say, no, I need more care when you learn. Some of them say you improve the cognition skills. Content. So it becomes each term looks like Very simple. I put it in multiple colors because each one is a different challenge for the educators and the learners, both the learners that are there. So the most important thing is, what are the characteristics of education 5.2? That is the meaning, the digital universe. What do you mean? Now it is a digital universe everywhere. Technology is everywhere, and you can learn anytime or draw anything that you need. Co-constructivism. So how do you, the teacher and the people have to go line in line with each other. So there are large number of students who have joined, I know. Don't assume that the teachers are very far from you or they have learned all this 10 years back, 20 years back, and so on. Some of the technologies that we teach, maybe we are just 1 year ahead of you or sometimes 6 months ahead of you. So it is just like learning together. It's a fully infused in the society. So schools are located everywhere. So that means we can learn from wherever we need, learning from parents. So they too view schools as a place for them to learn. And then location everywhere, teachers are everybody, everywhere. Infrastructure, hardware and software in schools are available at low cost. And the expectation, industry views graduates as co-workers or entrepreneurs. That's the biggest, I can say, the challenge. Industry says, even my friend Mrs. Saravana Kumar will say, I want day one of the graduates to be employable. So the expectation is high. How are we going to meet it? It's going to be working together. The industry, academia, all of us, the society should work together for a win-win situation. So today's scenario, Education 5.0, learner as a content producer and sharer, then social networking for connectivity, education, say learners as connectors, creators, and constructivists, as I told, diversity of network, web as curriculum, access to experts, learners as teachers. So many things are there in today's scenario. We have to put all of them into a single frame so that there is something that is common and can make us much more simpler and easier. Then the teacher's mindset. What should I do? I don't have first enough time to cover the syllabus. I have always successfully taught in this particular way. I like chalk and talk. I've been successful. Why should I go for technology? Then I might actually lose control of the class. That is another challenge that they think. I don't have enough resources. I need to teach to the test exam. I need to be much focused towards the exam. I need to teach using the textbook. These are some of the mindset that has to change from the teachers also. So has to be a complete, I can say, unzip whatever you have learned, and then zap whatever you have done and reload it with something new that you have. So the questions that we have is, where are we now? Is it education 5.0? What will be the next? Is there a 6.0? How to embrace technology and how do we enhance ourselves into it? Simple tricks is, as I told, learn to tame the tiger. Okay. So the components, people talk about future skills. This is how you can do. When you talk doctors, 100-year life is our component of education 5.0. The millennial mindset, making it much more simpler, easier is what they need. Digital networks and devices. Everywhere is now a network. Everywhere there is a device. So personal data, that is security. What happens? Everybody is watching me. What will happen to my personal data? Security and safety and privacy of data. What are the collaboration platforms that are available? Talent investment. So I learned so many things that are required for the company. Where am I going to invest my talent? Is it a good company? Is it a mediocre company? Am I in the right place? Then shared content and resources. So there are so many resources that are available and shared. Which one is the best that I can choose? Social progress. Can I go along with my friends? Can I go along and progress with my society? So, and then what is it? As I already told, anytime, anywhere, it should be more personal, flexible delivery. So each one, the student's ownership, modular projects, evaluated and not examined. That is what is the last important thing. You have to be and better evaluated and rather than examined. So the trends is accelerate remote learning, personalized learning, choice of education tools, project-based learning, field-specific experience, data analysis, changes in exam pattern or assessment. This is what is going in the trend of Education 5.0. Many colleges and schools have started doing it, and I'm very sure in the next few years or not too long that we'll be able to actually cross all this or connect all this together. So is Education 5.0 the new norm? See, this is very important to note. A World Bank report says low education outcome and poor quality of education are the biggest impediments to the faster economic growth of a country as the young continue to be trapped in poverty. So unless the poverty line, the below poverty line moves up, that is why UN has brought in all those SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. Important goal is to overcome the poverty. Only then anything that happens, be it Education 5.0 or 6.0, will be successful. So India's demographic structure is changing. While the entire world is growing older, the Indian population is becoming younger, and by 2030, about two-thirds Indians will be in its workforce. So that's the biggest advantage for us. So we need to actually capitalize this Education 5.0, help our society to come up. So it's a gradual paradigm shift. So it is demand-led rather than supply-led, competency-based rather than knowledge-based, incorporate disruptive technologies and skill sets, lifelong learning instead of front-loaded learning. So front-loaded learning is learn with books, learn with material, and so on. Modular degree instead of one-shot going. See, that's what is the government is trying to push up, the modular degree. So you can take 6 months, you study, take up a certificate course, come back later, do another certificate, pile up your degrees, minor degrees, nano degrees, and so on. Emphasize on emotional quotient than the IQ. So the intelligent quotient alone is not sufficient to survive. The emotional quotient is very important for us to survive in the next, say, upcoming 30, 40 years that are there. Focus on purposefulness, mindfulness, leading to overall happiness and well-being, as conclusively established in global research of the OECD Framework 2030. Please refer to it. Okay. So the crux is we are going to be globally connected. So you can learn from University of Carnegie Mellon University by sitting at your home, whether it is in say Aminchikarai or whether it is in Ambasamudram or anywhere that is there. Still, you can be a student of Carnegie Mellon University or the Stanford University or an Oxford University. Second is smart machines. Machines have become smarter, much more smarter than what we think. You don't have to go to the machine. Sitting at your office, you can switch on all your machines that are there. So you should learn to tame the machines. So you have to become much more smarter than the machines. Social and digital media in education. So people have to be very much aware on the social media and digital media in education. What can be actually shared in social media? How can we get influenced by the digital media and the social media? That is also an important crux of this Education 5.0. Teaching mechanism worldwide has changed largely. So again, it is going to evolve. There's going to be a lot of changes in the teaching learning methods. Virtual learning environments. So we don't have even here in a virtual learning environment. Okay, so that is going to become much more larger, much more simpler. Alternative schooling. Many of them have switched to this alternative schooling. No longer you have to go to schooling and do your school education, or there are open schools that are available. And a lot of parents are interested to put their children to this open schooling mode. So nurturing thinking learners who are agents of their own learning. So you can become your own teacher, you can become your own student, and so on. So it's an organic way of learning, we can say, and organic curriculum is available. So this entire meaningful experience will make you into a better learner or an educator in this 5.0 model. So what will be in this? Starting with e-learning, video-based learning programs, differentiation and personalization, augmented reality and virtual reality. I told today I am putting augmented reality and virtual reality. I do not know how long this is going to stay. Something else will crop up. So digital online assignments, assessments and assignments, gamified learning, learning outside the classroom, growing big data, learning analytics, AI-enabled education. What will be at this 5.0? Is it only this? No, this will also change. This is as on day. So people will say, learn all AI tools, learn AR, VR. No, what I insist is that learn the concepts so that any technology that comes, we should be able to adopt. So the pillars are industry academia collaboration, government policies and initiatives, technology and infrastructure. So most importantly, the education 5.0 should be able to develop better workforce which are useful to both industry, academia, and the society. Inclusive educational access. Everybody, inclusivity is important. So everybody should have access to content, material, and learning. Curriculum enhancement. Curriculum has to be drastically changing every 6 months once to adapt to what is happening outside. Global research and innovation. Know about what is happening in America or Australia or Fiji Island. Know about the research and innovation that is there. Flexible learning pathways. As I told, you can decide when you want to start learn and when you want to continue. You can always take breaks when you want to do the learning. So the solution is Industry 5.0, curriculum, faculty, and parenting. So Industry 5.0, we talk about the fifth industry revolution. That is human-centric, sustainability, as I told, that is very, very important. And then up to cyber physical systems that are there. It's going to bring in circular economy, more of customization and automation. And then the components are, you can look at these components. We have to learn about drone technology, additive manufacturing or additive technology, 5G technologies, mixed reality, and so on. So the pillars are sustainability, people-centric, and resilience. So I will just go to one more slide. I think it is the time is catching up. So this is then becoming much more, okay, just before this, faculty 5.0. So the faculty 5.0 should go hand in hand with curriculum 5.0. That means it should be teacher-student interaction should be based on a smart approach to make them whole experience engaging and interesting. So more of project-based, activity-based learning rather than just a question answering system. Okay. So uncover the why. Go beyond the text and reasoning the topic. Evaluate your performance. When semester ends, stop and think about what happened that inspired you. Let your curiosity lead you. Collect everything that catches your eye. A nice photograph for a writing exercise, etc. Create your own assessment rules, shorter lesson plans, quiz, and so on. So you be your own teacher. Okay, just learn from the teachers and be your own teachers to understand. Peer discussion should be a practice. Most important thing is the parenting 5.0. I know most of the teachers here and the others here should understand these are the smaller interactions that are or distractions that our generation 5.0 or the generation Z is facing. That is Gen Z kids, people who are born between 1996 to 2010. I can call them as gadget Gen. So the important dimensions that they should learn is money management, healthy food habits, sustainability and environment, self-confidence, integrity, disaster management, Indian history, Indian constitution, Indian political science, and value of relationship. If you learn all this, any technology that comes, you'll be able to imbibe, you'll be able to appreciate and adapt much more easily because we have the roots. So now the challenge is we started with the greatest. Every generation that was there, from the greatest generation to silent generation, boomers, Gen X, millennials, Gen Alpha, now the birth of Gen Beta 2025. Everybody is having different types of challenges, but all of them talks about or joins to or actually converges the parenting 5.0. So Education 5.0, just on the crux, as I told, this is what you should do. Don't bother about what technology comes and goes. Understand what is important and learn the concepts and the basics that are there. Are we moving to 6.0? Yes. We have to start thinking. When we say there is a 4G available, 5G, 6G, 7G are all though. So now talk about interdisciplinary approaches, sustainability and ethics, lifelong learning, advanced technology, global citizenship, and holistic learning. These are the goals or principles of Education 6.0. So just moving on to the summary, moving to Education 6.0 is our goal. Learning is learn from home, work from home, earn from home, stay at home. Okay, that's then the challenge comes. What do we do? Are we spending our quality time? That you have to decide. Innovation, new teaching pedagogies, more of case studies, and so on. So technology is going to be completely ICT based, and then enhanced technologies, flipped classes, learning, teaching, and so on. It is not just the enhanced technology is not the AI or anything. So finally, just about me. I'm Lata Parmeshwaran, undergraduate in mathematics, masters in computer applications. I have good amount of experience in teaching, industry, and so on. I actually mentor, encourage, and more women to become leaders. If anybody wants support, I will be able to tell you. And support for a cause that is a vital that I am working with. So it's about my college. It's PSGR Krishnamal College, ranked 7th in NIRF. So it's a beautiful campus. It's a women-only college, and nearly 2,000 students are studying computer science. These are the disciplines that we offer, and so we guide more than 2,000 students every year in the different areas of skilling, upskilling, and whatnot that we say. And some of the references from where I have taken the today's this one. So thank you all for your patience. Youngsters need to understand the purpose of life. So they need courage and wisdom to face the challenges. With that understanding, they become the light of the world. So if we care for them responsibly, molding their whole character with love, then the future of the world will be much safer. So pronounced by Amma. So thank you, everybody. So I stay here to answer your questions. Hope I have not exceeded much of the time.
No, not at all. Not at all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The role of AI, robotics, automation. Just a minute. The role of AI, robotics, automation with Education 5.0. See, the role of AI. The AI is now everywhere. As I talk, it can create an annotation. If I just say create annotation, this tool, the Google Meet will create annotation, can do recording. All this is, the annotation is a tool that is available. So I can, AI is now something embedded in our day-to-day life. Okay, so we cannot now escape AI. So just like we cannot escape using a mobile. If I say my students don't use a mobile, I become a laughing stock. Actually, it is not right also. So what we should say is, AI is something more than learning AI. Understand the concepts of artificial intelligence. Understand how these engines think. How do we make the machine intelligent? So we know the entire artificial intelligence lies in how we train the machines that are there, how we train the engines that are there. So that is more important. Learn the basics. The basics means the AI has a crux. Learn the mathematics behind it. Learn the science, the algorithms behind it. Learn the applications behind it. Robotics, when we say robotics, is applications of AI onto a machine. So we now see robotics, robots everywhere. Okay, so robotics doesn't mean that they have to move everywhere. So you go to any industry, so or even in our common places that are there are a lot of applications of robotics that are there. So the crux behind is that learn to understand the concepts, the science thoroughly. Okay, so the role of AI and robotics, automation. Automation means, what is automation? According to me, 20 years or 25 years back when I was, or 30 years back when we are doing programming, to write a program to generate an invoice was automation. To write a program to generate a payroll was an automation. But now it is not so. So automation means now people think beyond. The moment I think, say now I have to search Google with either typing saying, let me know what is about Coimbatore chapter of CSA. Or other thing I should say, I should speak to the Google. I can turn on my mic and say, please tell me where is CSA Coimbatore chapter located. But what is it going to happen is that when I think of CSA Coimbatore chapter, not too far, immediately CSA Coimbatore chapters office address will come, location will come, everything will come onto my device. The device need not be an intelligent device like a smartphone or anything. It could be on a table, or it could be on my palm. So that is what is automation all about now. So now automation has no boundaries. So the basic, the understanding is, again I say, it lies in mathematics and the problem solving skills and the critical thinking skills. If we have all these three, we can win any technology that is there. Okay. So any other questions?
Thank you, Professor Veeragon, for your question.
Yeah.
Ma'am, thanks for providing a detailed answer for the question that was posted in the chat window.
Thank you.
Now we have a couple of questions that were raised by the participants at the time of registration.
Yeah. Yes, I
ma'am.
remember.
Here you have a couple of questions, ma'am.
Okay.
You can go through that and.
Yeah. Course to develop skill, communication, useful for future job career. Yeah, an excellent question. So a course is, in every course that you learn, I'll just say that you can develop a skill. So you learn a course, say if you are a commerce student, if you learn a course on accounting, primary or fundamentals of accounting, develop the skill. Understand each and every line that you read, every line that you write. That's what you mean by developing the skill. We don't want to do a rote learning. So what is an asset? What is a liability? I'm just talking from a lay terms that I know. If you are a physicist, okay, learn everything. Learn about signals. How do the signals transmit from one location to another? What happens? What is channel information? What happens when the signal travels across an open channel that is there? So if you are a chemist, understand how the reactions take place. Try to understand in your own words and reproduce it in your own words. Write it and keep reading it multiple times. Second is communication. Communication, I'm not sure whether English is called as communication. I'm sure it is not called as communication. English is just language for all of us to survive, or whatever be that you call. Let me not get into that at all. Communication is correctly express what you want to understand or what you want to speak. Be it English, be it mother tongue Tamil, or your own mother tongue, or in terms of pictures. So we express everything as icons. Okay, in a computer science or an IT field, we say everything is an icon. If you are good, if you are able to represent as an icon and communicate, that is sufficient. So use useful course for the future job. Useful course is learn about critical thinking, problem solving. So there is one course called as computational thinking and problem solving. I always say that every student has to learn it. It's a skill like reading and writing. So I can even put it in the message box. It is called as computational thinking and problem solving. Learn about this. Learn about design thinking. These are the future skills that you need. Okay, learn about design thinking. These are the skills that will help you in your job career that is there. Does AI could become a disaster for human being? Never. No. We have seen so many technologies walking ahead of us. No technology will become a disaster to human being, provided it is used in the right sense. Okay, we know during the World War, there were nuclear bombs that were thrown. Was it continuing? No, people understood. Sorry, I think we have to, it is about, we have to know how to manufacture. People learn how to manufacture or how to make a bomb. Not that we should know, we should be doing it daily. Okay. So this is very important to learn that no technology will be a disaster to human being, provided it is used in the right sense with the right guidance that is there. So is this session effective for a flipped classroom? Actually, I don't understand this question. Is this session effective for flipped classroom? So flipped classroom in the sense, what do you mean by a flipped classroom? In my understanding is, you divide the entire session. So your class is hour is for 30 minutes. Divide it into 4 parts. Okay. So the first 10 to 12 minutes, talk about a concept. The next 10 to 12 minutes, you make the class discuss about the concept. The next 10 to 12 minutes, give them an activity or a problem to solve it. And the fourth part is what you should do. You should ask them to present it, collaborate it, and make them understand each other. This is what is flipped classroom. It is not, in my understanding, this is what is flipped classroom. It is not just saying about you use 10 minutes PPT, 10 minutes PDF, and so on. That's not flipped. Flipped here means more of collaborative learning. Okay. So what is the future of higher education under AI era? It's challenging for the educators. It's challenging for the learners. It's challenging for the industry people. It's challenging for society. Because even today's newspaper, it was there was one article which said that AI will replace teachers. I was just laughing at it. How can an AI replace teachers? AI knows only what has happened in the present and predict something based on what they do. First of all, these predictions I don't believe. Okay, I don't believe. I don't talk about astrologers and I think this prediction in the next 10 years this will happen and that will happen and so on. No, technology is something that has to be imbibed in our day-to-day life and use it for the betterment of you, your people around you, and society. So I'm very sure the future of higher education under AI era is challenging, and learn to know the tools that are there. See, if I still say I will do a chalk and talk, that's very interesting and important as a teacher because I prefer to do that. But the learner should also be comfortable. The learner now wants to know more of pictorial representation. I can even say, if I take some of my presentations I've done 20 years back, I myself will laugh at it because every slide will have 30, 40 lines. Okay, so we have very few images. Now one picture speaks 1,000 words or 10,000 words. So more of engagement in learning. So under AI era also, the students expect that there should be more of an engagement rather than a monologue. That's what I think. Yeah, yes, as Professor Veera Raghavan has mentioned, there is a book called as How to Solve It by Computers by Drome. It's an interesting book. Learn it, read that book. It will be very interesting to know that. So any other questions from any of my?
If there are any other questions from the participants, either you can unmute and ask or you can
That's
type it in the
also
chat
good.
window.
Good evening, Dr. Lata Madam.
Yeah, good evening, Venkatesh sir.
Venkatesan. When there is no job in the future, why should someone has to learn?
Who said there are no jobs in the future?
I mean, that's how the Elon Musk says AI will take everything.
No, AI cannot take everything. Who will develop the algorithms? Who will develop the technology?
The whole process of the development will finish in next 5 years.
No, that's what people said. See, we have seen about evolution. You and me, we know very well how people said that when, say, I recall when software engineering came, they said this is the only model available to develop software. Okay, even our Dr. Sarana Kumar will say software engineering, software project management were said to be the important philosophies that everybody should understand in IT industry. But now people talk about agile. There's so many changes that has come. So Elon Musk maybe, and he may be saying something, but who's going to develop solutions? See, we have n number of problems in front of us. The society needs. So we need young people who have the skills of, as I told, not engineering skill or medical skill or anything. No longer just a doctor can be a doctor. Okay, in another 2 to 3, now itself the medical schools have started including in their curriculum big data, because I also do some lectures for some of the doctors that are there on big data, data analytics, and so on. That means there is a very thin line between one field of, say, expertise or specialization and another. It is collaborative. Everybody has to come together. There is no scare, according to me, because everybody, every 5 years or 6 years, they used to tell me that this is going to change the world, this will stop, machine learning has come, and so on. But there is no such change that is going to happen. It is going to be opportunity. There can be somebody who can say that, but India is a land of opportunities, and somebody is writing a deep seek. Who will sit and write the deep seek? We need people, people like us, people like the young generation who are listening today, to sit and develop the technology. So
thank you for your explanation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, one more question. All struggles with non-standard and creative problem solving. Over-reliance on AI cloud undermine mathematical thinking. You are exactly speaking what I say. So the mathematical thinking has actually gone under the carpet now. So people have to actually start reviving mathematics. Mathematics and computer science, according to me, are two sides of the same coin. So over-reliance on cloud or undermining the mathematical thinking is what is the problem now. So start thinking. Cloud is now going away or fading away. People are finding out more and more technologies that will replace cloud. As I told, the technology now will be an joke after 2 to 3 years or 4 years or even in 1 year. So now AI struggles because it has to actually lay its footprint and become much more sustainable. So the entire crux of this lies in the young minds, the younger population, who are going to be fed with better problem solving skills. That's what I think. And who concentrates on the well-being of the society.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Dear participants, if you have any questions, you can post it in the chat window. Otherwise, we will move on to the next segment. Now it's time for announcements.
Yeah.
I invite our chairman to provide updates about the chapter's activities.
Thank you very much. I think just to answer the question which was asked by our Venki, Dr. Venkatesh, AI, in fact, it is actually transforming various industries, and it is creating a huge demand for professionals, for students who can understand and utilize AI technology. So now, not just learning about things is not enough. You should know how to utilize those AI technologies. Apart from that, you also have soft skills, which are also important, and which bridges the gap between technical AI capabilities and real world applications. And ethical considerations, they are also becoming utmost importance, I should say, because AI becomes more integrated into our society. So by sort of developing these key skills, individuals, all of us can position ourselves for success in the dynamic and rapidly growing AI era. Okay, before continuing with announcements,
thank you, Saravana Kumar. Thank you.
You're welcome. Before continuing with announcements, I want to express my sincere gratitude to our esteemed speaker, Dr. Lata Parameshwaran, for sharing her expertise and inspiring all of us with her deep knowledge and forward-thinking perspectives. Let's continue to embrace the future of learning together. We hope the session inspired all of you to embrace the transformative potential of Education 5.0. I am, in fact, delighted to share about our initiatives from the CSI, Computer Institute of India Coimbatore chapter. We are committed as Computer Institute of India. We are committed to fostering, encouraging knowledge sharing and skill development within our community, and we have several programs designed to do just that. First of all, as most of you are aware, we hold regular knowledge sharing sessions, at least 2 per month, second Wednesday and fourth Wednesday, featuring experts from both academia and industry, like the insightful session we enjoyed today. And yes, the student speaker sessions usually happen on fourth Wednesday, and today we had this SME session, subject matter expert session. And fourth Wednesday sessions provide a platform for our enthusiastic students to share their knowledge and perspectives. We are also deeply committed to inclusivity. We have conducted 2 specialized webinars for visually challenged students, and we are also planning for more such sessions to ensure that equal opportunities are available to everyone. And there are a lot of initiatives from Computer Institute of India, which includes FDP, faculty development programs, industry workshops, collaboration with other CSI chapters in Region 7, which includes Tamil Nadu and Kerala, for organizing impactful and regional level programs. We also conduct student-centric activities like IT quiz programs, which we had last week. And so please keep an eye on our announcements. From April 2024 till now, we have organized 28 events, excluding the one which we are having today, each one being a step towards empowering our community with knowledge and skills. Our sessions this year covered a broad spectrum of topics, including, we had cloud computing, cyber forensics, AI and ML concepts, digital footprint, Gen AI, entrepreneurship, SaaS, design thinking, blockchain, digital classrooms, AI governance, and much more. And we encourage you to, stay connected with the CSI Coimbatore chapter for more learning opportunities and upcoming events. Together, we can continue to grow and innovate in the dynamic world of technology. Thank you, one and all, for taking time away from your busy, hectic schedule and participating this evening. Stay curious, keep learning, and we eagerly look forward to seeing you all at our future events as well. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dear participants, you can use the link that is posted in the chat window to submit your feedback. And also you can scan the QR code that is available on the screen. This feedback is required to know about your experience about the session and also to prepare the e-certificates for you. Moving on to the next segment, that is vote of thanks. Now I invite our chapter secretary,